There was a lot of green, a lot of beauty. I also wasn't prepared to see the roadside businesses of fresh fruit and produce. I was going to a third world country, didn't expect to see things like that. I also did not expect to have the most delicious cheeseburger that I've ever had in my life. Witness a 7-year-old's birthday party. So the gal on the right is Tolly. She is the adopted daughter of Liz, who you saw in the video. And she had a birthday when we were down there. So we had a Haitian birthday party. And, of course, imagine my surprise when I saw a Randy Moss fan in Haiti. Actually, a lot of the Haitian clothes come down from Goodwill, Salvation Army, that are a lot of overage that they have. So in addition to Randy Moss, we saw a lot of American sports jerseys down there. Those are some of the things that I wasn't expecting to see. Going to a third world country, you expect poverty. What didn't prepare me, though, was seeing images like this. What you're seeing is some of the housing that they have in Haiti. These guys are lucky. They actually have homes built into the mountain. A lot of the Haitians live in areas that are covered by tarp. You may remember in 2010, an earthquake struck Haiti and completely devastated the country. Over 300,000 Haitians were killed. They are still in a process of rebuilding. And so many of them live in houses, 10, 12, 15 people in houses like this. Another thing that I wasn't expecting was the traffic. How many of you love sitting on 494, 35W, Monday morning, 7 a.m., huh? No, me neither. I'll have to tell you though, sitting in traffic in Haiti has given me a newfound respect to my time on 494. This photo was taken from our vehicle as we were driving to the clinic. And in front of us is one of their transportation modes called a tap-tap. Have any of you ridden in a tap-tap before? Gets its name. It's a makeshift pickup truck. And passengers line the side, sit in the middle, and when they're ready to get out, they the side of the truck. Therefore called a tap-tap. Seems like a fairly efficient form because they don't really have bus stops. What makes it much less efficient is the tap-tap driver. If they can pull over, they will, but usually they can't. So they stop, like this, to let passengers on and off. What this does is adds an element of unpredictability to Haitian traffic. Things that should take an hour, take 3 or 4 hours to get someplace. So I definitely wasn't expecting that. The last thing, heading to a third world country, I expected to see poverty. What I didn't expect to see is poverty like this. This is actually a photo of a marketplace, believe it or not. The Haitian residents are actually selling food, clothes, supplies in the back of the photo, underneath those tarps. But in the forefront of the photo is garbage, piles and piles and piles of garbage. Now, as you can imagine, this garbage, as it rains, releases all sorts of unsanitary and toxic waste. Haitians drink this water and become really, really sick. One of the things I learned is there's actually a fairly easy solution to help create clean water in Haiti. When we were in the clinic, I saw literally gallons and gallons and gallons of Clorox bleach. And I was thinking, wow, they're really on with their sanitary measures here at the clinic. The bleach actually serves another purpose. The bleach is distributed to the folks that come to the clinic in little droppers. That 5 droppers of Clorox bleach helps create clean drinking water for 1 gallon of water. Think about that the next time you put bleach into your laundry machine, that's one of the ways that folks in third world countries help create clean water. So this next picture you're going to see is of the clinic. Children's Health Ministries didn't always start off in this beautiful 2-building clinic or 2-story clinic. They started off 6 years ago. I'll share with you a little bit more about that story, but they started off actually in the hallway of a church. And over the last 6 years, God has led them. Doors have opened, and they've created a clinic that employs 15 Haitians. They have the need for round-the-clock, 24/7 supervision and care. Not only for care to ensure that the clinic is safe, you can see the cement walls and the barricades around it, but within the last year, some of the measures that went into place after the earthquake in 2010, Doctors Without Borders, other organizations that came in after a crisis, came in to help the community rebuild. Well, the crisis is over, so a lot of these institutions are leaving. They're going to the next area. What this leaves is a huge void in the community where folks used to getting services are no longer. Children's Health Ministry responds to needs in the community, and last year created a NICU, a neonatal intensive care unit. They actually purchased 2 shipping containers, those big shipping containers, and those were placed in the front yard of the clinic. Not a lot of room, but that was done so that those preemie babies that come to the clinic that already are struggling to breathe can breathe cleaner air in these shipping containers. The next slide was Mickey and Liz. You saw them in the video. What you may not have realized is they're actually mother and daughter, kind of a super duo. And Mickey, shortly after the earthquake, went on a mission trip, much like you might go with your church to Guatemala. She went and did some malnutrition work. And when she was there, she felt this just overcoming urge. She didn't know what it was, so she came back to the States. She had recently sold her business. She was kind of enjoying the retired life. She had a farm, she had animals, and every day she just felt this urge. And in fact, she will describe it. She said, Jesus says, Haiti is your home. Now, I don't know about you, but Jesus doesn't usually speak that directly to me. So she thought, I probably should listen. So she told her daughter Liz, and Liz says, you know, Mom, I'll go with you to Haiti. I don't want you to make your ministry my ministry, but I'll go with you to see what this is about. Well, fast forward 6 years, Mickey and Liz have Children's Health Ministry, which is a mission and ministry that started with malnutrition work that has expanded into all different aspects, as you learned in the video: family planning, prenatal care, microloans for some of their patients in the program. They also, their goal in the spirit of accompaniment is to walk alongside these Haitian people. They are empowering, equipping, and helping educate to create sustainability so that they don't have to be there. In fact, Mickey and Liz just arrived last week. You may get an opportunity to meet them sometime, but they are originally from Minnesota, and so they're back on some respite care right now. The next pictures that I'd like to show you are of the clinic itself and the Haitians at work. Another thing that I learned when I was in Haiti is medical treatment is way different in third world countries than it is here. They don't have the luxury to run lab tests and run all the panel of blood tests that you can to figure out what's wrong. They need to use different skill sets. On our board is actually a physician, and when she was down there, she went with the expectation of, I will probably be able to teach a lot of my skill sets to the Haitian nurses. One of my favorite photos from her time down there is the doctor, Mary, who's on our board, the American doctor, holding the flashlight. It's not in this picture, but she's the one holding the light, and the Haitian nurses are the ones doing the work. So this is a picture of the ER, where they'll assess babies that are in real high need. Some other pictures that you'll see are of some of the day-to-day clinic operations, where men and women will come to the clinic very early in the morning, and they'll wait. They'll wait almost 6, 8, 10 hours. How many of you have been to the pediatrician or a clinic office and you see a sign? The sign says, if you've been waiting more than 20 minutes beyond your scheduled appointment time, please see the receptionist, right? Have you ever had to go and tell the receptionist, hey, I've been waiting more than 20 minutes? The Haitian people are resilient. They will wait so long so that they can have a better life for their children or their loved ones. Another thing that occurs in Haiti that I was surprised with is they don't breastfeed. They have a strong voodoo presence down in Haiti. That's one of the underlying beliefs that they have. They also have a very strong Catholic belief. So measure that one out. So with the voodoo, they believe that breastfeeding is actually poisonous to their children. And so many people can't afford formula. And so instead, their babies from birth get, saltine crackers, crushed up saltines, and water. That's what the children get. So many of the children that come into the clinic, their parents, their loved ones, they don't know any better. They are feeding their child and they're not getting any nourishment. So part of what CHM's ministry is to educate on the benefits of breastfeeding. The nurse on the right, her name is Gerline, and she's been with Children's Health Ministries for about 4 years. Gerline is really a special nurse. Not only is she in charge, she actually recruits other nurses, trains them, really empowers and equips them. But Gerline, one of the things that I learned about her when I was down in Haiti is she gets up every day at 3 in the morning. Why do you think she gets up at 3? It's not to meditate, it's not to go to yoga or the workout gym. It's not even to have coffee with her husband or her son. She gets up at 3 in the morning every single day so that she can get on a bus and ride a series of buses 4 hours to get to the clinic. She works a full day at the clinic, and she feels pretty lucky because at night, it only takes her about 3 hours to get home to her son and her husband. And she does that 5 to 6 days a week. Now I asked her, because her skill set as a nurse is actually something that's fairly rare in Haiti. I asked her, Gerline, why don't you work closer to home? And here's what she said to me. She said, you know, I am very lucky and very, very fortunate to be trained as a nurse. And Children's Health Ministry is in the heart of Carrefour, which has so much poverty and so much need. Although it's 4 hours from her home, this little clinic, Children's Health Ministries, has gained quite the reputation where Haitians will flock to the clinic. They know they will get helped. They know they will get educated. And Gerline chooses to commute 7 hours a day because that is where she can help the most people. So she said, that's why I do it. Pretty amazing. The last story I'd like to share with you is about a little boy who touched my heart when I was in Haiti. His name is Kenya. How old do you think Kenya is? It's the same picture in both of these. He's 10 pounds. Kenya is a year old. And what you can't see is he has a full mouth of teeth. So when I first saw Kenya, I thought, gosh, here's this tiny little kid. Maybe he's 6 months old. And then you look and he has a full mouth of teeth. Now I don't know about you, but you probably know people that have had children at birth that were 9 or 10 pounds. In fact, my cousin had a baby that was 10 pounds at birth. Think about it, 10 pounds at a year. This story doesn't end here. Kenya and his mom came to the clinic because Kenya is extremely malnourished. The picture is hard to see, but he actually has orange hair, meaning he's getting no nutrients. His hair is turning orange. They were enrolling him in the Medica Mamba program that they talked about in the video. Kenya's mom, when she brought him in, was 9 months pregnant. Kenya's aunt, who also was at the clinic, is also 9 months pregnant. One of the things I mentioned is they do adopt the Catholic faith, and one of the things about the Catholic faith that they adopt is the family planning. They also, because they believe that in order to get married, you have to have a white dress and get married in a church. But that costs a lot of money. So there's a whole host of issues here. I'm happy to report that Kenya is doing extremely well. He's gaining weight, he's 16 pounds now, and he's definitely looking more healthy. Both his mom and his aunt had healthy baby boys, and they are now exclusively breastfeeding. They also are enrolled in the family planning program at Children's Health Ministry, so they have education and empowerment on that. So as you can imagine, my time in Haiti had things filled with the expected, the unexpected, and everywhere in between. And you come back to America and think, how can I help? Certainly it's easy to throw money at a problem, but one of the things that I'm happy to introduce is Patty Matthews, who will share with you some of the ways that Grace is going to partner with CHM this spring. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan.